Hey guys, I'm Jordan and you're watching Fixbook. As always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below. And also, if you haven't already, stay tuned. At the end of this video, you'll get to see bullets flying into a laptop, if you haven't already seen that in some of my previous videos. But today we're going to be talking about tools, and more importantly, what kind of tools suits you, or what kind of tools do you need? Hopefully by the end of this video, I'll help you figure that out. Okay, before this video truly begins, I'm just gonna go ahead and run through this stuff. I'm gonna summarize these things. Alright, so first we have a standard tool set like this. This is for if you are afraid or scared to death of touching a car or doing anything that involves you and a tool and fixing something. You want a tool set like this. It's basically just going to give you a bare minimum of what you need to maybe even look at the car. That's really all it's good for. You're just going to be able to take off a few bolts and you might be able to get yourself out of a bind. Or a tool set like this would be good to keep in your car. It may help you if you get stuck on the side of the road, something like that. So if you're looking for a stuck on the side of the road toolkit, something like this or similar to this, maybe one of those plastic boxes that have like 4 drawers and have a variety of tools, that would be good for you. So that's when you'll need something that comes in plastic and displays the tools, and they call them sets. This is no tool set, but it's good for what I just told you it's good for. Next, we've got what I call it's my triage, what I call my triage set, or it's a good basic beginner set. And basically what you get is a box like this, and you can get a box like this at Sears or Home Depot, and it'll basically run around 80 to 100 bucks, and you can kind of build from the box. You can, because later you could get like a lower box like that, and you could set this and use this as your top box. It comes with this nifty little top tray right here, and you can fit lots of stuff in here. And so it's either a great beginner set. Oh, and I'm sorry I didn't explain the 5 bucket. This is also necessary in the beginner set here. You want a 5-gallon bucket because there's things that just does not fit in a box this size that will fit in a gallon bucket. And it's also, you can just grab both of these with either use both arms, and you can carry your whole tool set with, just by yourself with 2 arms. So this is a great beginner or triage set because I've got stuff here that I can use, and I can fix just about anything with this set right here. So again, you want to get yourself like a box, not a plastic box where it displays the tools, and then you'll be able to put all kinds of stuff in here, and that's a great beginner set to build on. Next, we'll talk about what you want to get if you're going into the field as a mechanic. Okay, so if you plan on being an automotive technician or a mechanic, a good starter set would be something like this, like a 12-drawer box here. It's actually 2 boxes. You got this lower 5-drawer box and then this upper 7-drawer box. And let me shut that for you there. That's what it's going to look like, and you can fit a lot of tools, and you can pretty much have everything that you need there to fix just about anything. All of that will fit in that one box right there. But as you progress and move down the road, you would want to upgrade. But like I said, it's a great beginner for a mechanic or technician. It's like a 12-drawer, and it runs around 250, maybe 300 bucks at Sears or Home Depot. And you can even go cheaper at Harbor Freight, maybe get something like that for maybe 150 bucks, but just something like that. That's your entry-level technician type box and setup, and you just have like screwdrivers and ratchets and whatnot, and I don't know, more ratchets and sockets, and you can fit loads of stuff in there. So we'll conclude this. For the person who's scared to get their hands dirty, you want to get yourself one of these. For the beginner entry-level, the beginning level of the entry-level mechanic, you want to get yourself something like this. In the 5-gallon bucket, it's awesome. You need one. Get it today. Go out and get yours today, and you can fill it up with all kinds of stuff that won't fit in these little drawers. And also for the entry-level mechanic, you want to get yourself a box like that. And if you're the beginner entry level, you can use that as a top box for that, and even go in there cheaper and spread what you're doing over time a little bit better. Now I'm going to begin the true beginning of this video. Alright, and we'll begin by going through some of my tools, and I just want to say too, I've made 2 other tool videos, and in those videos I just kind of point out the superiority and the inferiority of some of the less expensive tools and more expensive tools, but I didn't really give a good explanation of why someone would need that and why they wouldn't need it. So today I'm going to try and give you an idea of what kind of tool you would need for whatever your mechanical lifestyle is. I'm going to provide information on what kind of tools you'll need. So we're going to start by looking at my tools and what I've got here. This is just a standard carry around toolbox, and it's a good place to start if you're maybe an apprentice going into like an apprentice type position, or maybe just for around the house, or maybe if you just like to do projects and you're just getting into a tool scenario where you need tools. This is a good starter box, and it's Craftsman. I like Craftsman. I'm sure you can get something similar or equivalent at the, Home Depot sells Cobalt, I guess, but Sears does Craftsman. I like Craftsman a lot. I'm sold on Craftsman. I started on Craftsman, and this box is around $80 if I haven't already said that already, and it'll carry just about everything you need. It's got this nice little tray up here. Let's see if you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, and it just fits. Like, I got a torque wrench sitting up here. I got an extended ratchet, and it'll even fit your little air thing in there. And then the cool thing is this: if you set this tray in such a way, this is your Hanson tray. Yeah, gotta love the Hanson tray. You can set this in such a way so it'll close, so you can fit all your sockets and ratchets up here like you would in your regular type box. And then got a magnet. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you always probably hear me talk about magnets. You can never have enough. You can never have too many magnets. I like magnets because I drop stuff quite often, so they help you pick stuff up and find stuff. And also, if I don't have one sitting right here, I'm gonna grab. I'll show you another awesome little pickup tool that you need in your toolbox. Alright, and I found it here. Is in my other, well, this is actually my stepdad's, but I have one of these in my regular toolbox, which is just sitting over there. This was just laying over there for quick convenience here. But like I was talking about the magnets here, this is for everything non-magnetic. So if you drop something and it's not metallic, then it'll pick up. It's got pretty good strength. I'm trying to find. I don't think it'll pick up this ratchet. Wow, actually, did pretty well. Maybe if I got both claws on there. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty strong. So if you don't have one of these in your toolbox, I got spiderweb. See how often he uses it there. If you don't have one of these in your toolbox, go ahead and get one, because you're probably gonna drop something non-magnetic and you'll need it. And let's see, going down here in my next box, I got some of these hex sockets and Allen sockets, and these I don't use too often, so I got them from like Harbor Freight. It's cheap stuff. And I put my extensions and just kind of miscellaneous sockets. These are, I think these are about 60 bucks or 40 bucks each, maybe 60 bucks. They're from Matco, and this is because I work on Hondas quite a bit, and I also worked at a Toyota dealership, so it just makes life a lot easier. Oh, you probably, I'm sorry, I'm explaining like you know what it is. It's a Torx bit, or what do they call it? A Torx stick. That's what it is, and they sell them. And I'm sorry, I'm just assuming you guys kind of know what this is here. What a Torx stick does is, when you want to torque the lug nuts on the wheel, you want to put like 85 foot-pounds. So you're gonna, generally what you do is take your Torx thing here, or oftentimes, you know, mechanics aren't gonna do that. We're gonna take the air gun, the half-inch air gun, and just, you know, bump. But in the dealership, they're a little stiffer on that kind of situation there. So we use this Torx stick, and you just ramp it on there with your half-inch air gun, and it'll automatically put the torque on there, the 85 foot-pounds. And so that's why I have the Toyota one and the Honda one. And I didn't really feel the need to get the Torx sticks, which is basically an extension where you put a socket on it for any particular specification. But I just work on Toyota and Honda so much, I just got those two. So, and here I also keep my axle nut sockets. I got a 36 and a 32 and a 31, or a 30, and that does a lot of axles I kind of work on. Let's see what else we got here. I got this measuring tool, which I don't know why I have it sitting in here, but just kind of like a little miscellaneous type drawer stuff in quite often. And then I've also got this nice pair of channel locks, and I'm actually really kind of pleased with this. This is from Harbor Freight, and I'm normally not very pleased with Harbor Harbor Freight stuff, but this is Pittsburgh Professional. They added professional there, and am really pleased with the construction here and how sturdy it is. And I don't know, it's just in comparison to this crappy, I don't even know what this is, but this probably came in like a tool set I bought a really long time ago. It's just, yeah, it's really crappy. This is really pretty good quality pair of channel locks, and it was only $7 or $8. I'm pretty happy with that. Then we've got our little oil change claw guy. That's good to have for even like somebody just to do it yourself. These are good to have for, you know, taking your oil filters off. Also, maybe you probably do, maybe you don't. Tire plugs are good to have. Just have this stuff kind of sitting around. This is also kind of like this is part of the tools that I carry around with me, because what I do is I'll go to the people and work on their car there. So I'm carrying like all these tools around with me in just my little Honda Civic. So this is kind of like my triage repair kit, kind of the fix-all and a really compact set of tools. So that's why I carry these kind of things like tire plugs. And oh, here's a cool little thing right here I got going on. This is a ball joint separator or tie rod arm separator. You just kind of stick in. I love this tool. It's awesome. If you've ever had trouble dismounting a ball joint and you've used one of these when nothing else could save you, you can really appreciate this. And this I got at Harbor Freight for just like $20 or so. So it's a cool little tool. And I got my dikes in here, and this is really just okay. It's really not even okay. It's really a crappy pair of dikes, but you really want a good pair of dikes, which I need to get here pretty soon. Just because they come in handy so often. Now going on to the next drawer. This is my little screwdriver drawer, and got some picks. Just got some really Pittsburgh Harbor Freight type stuff. The Craftsman Professional screwdrivers, I'm a big fan of those. They're just about as good as quality as Matco and Snap-on, and you're not gonna pay the $200-300. It's like $60, I think, for a set of those. And I got my little drum brake hold down spring remover. Your battery terminal cleaner. I don't know why it's sitting there. Like I said, it's my Triage Set, so I'm cramming everything in just this little thing. And also my bucket. Where'd my bucket go? I have found my bucket, and I told you this guy was sitting in my toolbox over there, but it's actually not. I kept it in the bucket there, so I actually do use it. So I'll give this back to my stepdad now. And yeah, the bucket, I think just about everything you need to fix someone in kind of an emergency situation can fit in this. And I'm always 5-gallon buckets, because you're obviously, some of these things you can't, you're not going to be able to set your propane torch and your big old C-clamp and crossbar and brake mount timer and I don't know, just random air tubes and all this kind of stuff. Just a 5-gallon bucket, and one of these boxes you can fit pretty much everything you need to work on stuff that's in an emergency type situation. Oh, in this box, let's see if you can see. Yeah, it's empty right now. This is where I have my electrical wires and little thing with connectors where I can make electrical connectors. I took it out recently. What I fixed? I fixed my, what was it, the cigarette lighter thing. So I took it out and didn't put it back. I need to put it back. But yeah, little electrical connectors. And if you go through and kind of get these things, I mean, maybe you don't need an assortment of axle nut removers and stuff, but I mean, like the hex and Allen sockets, and then like a good set of shallow and deep well sockets. That's a good basic start for what you need. And I'll go over here in just a second and show you my big toolbox if I haven't already stolen most of the good stuff out of it. Oh, and before I go over to my slightly larger box, I just wanted to show you this little setup I've got here, a 5-gallon bucket and one of these little 4-drawer thing with the tray up here. It's a great start if you don't have any automotive tools and you're just getting into working on your own stuff. This type of box and a 5-gallon, I'm serious, you guys, a 5-gallon bucket, you can get it for like, I don't know, $5 at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's a really good setup. It's a really good start for basically all the stuff you'll need. And this would be good for, like I said, a beginner and somebody who may not necessarily be going into the field as like a mechanic or something, but it does give you the opportunity to kind of build on to what you've got here. Because I'll show you an example here. Give me just a second. I'm walking over and grab one of toolboxes I've got. And basically what I'm showing you is an example of what you buy, just like a kit here. Like I think this is maybe one of my first kits. Let me see if I'm in the shot here. Yeah, if you get just like one of these kits from like, I don't know, maybe Walmart. Yeah, Stanley's Walmart. You can't really build on one of those small kits, but this, for example, I'm gonna turn the camera here. So you can get one of those lower boxes and you can actually set that and kind of use that as your top box. So if you do start out with something like this, it's 80 bucks just for the box, and that's a little bit cheaper. I mean, it's a little bit more expensive than like buying a kit like this, or I mean, I have another one, it's like a square one and it's got like 4 drawers, but there's really no opportunity to build on those. When you got this, you're starting something that you can kind of build on, and it's pretty good quality. It's gonna last a really long time. So just kind of wrapping up what I'm saying here, I would advise, if you are planning on working on your own car, start out with this guy right here, like a 4-drawer little thing with a trans top and a 5-gallon bucket. You cannot go wrong with these two. I'm telling you guys. So next we're gonna move on over here to my little 12-drawer box here, and these are really not expensive boxes. My setup over here is, I think, maybe around 250 bucks, you know, just for the box. But I mean, you got, you know, your snap-on boxes are anywhere from like starting out, just the bottom box, you're probably starting out 5 to like maybe 15,000, and for like a whole setup, maybe anywhere from like 15 to like 30 or 40,000 on and up. So 250 bucks, I mean, it's really not too much of an investment, and it is something that's gonna last. I mean, it's not glorious quite like the snap-on, where you know you got the roller bearings, and in this size drawer you could probably sit on the edge of this and it's not gonna fall or break. And you know, it's just like in a snap-on you could stick it out that far and probably just step in it and probably stand up and use it as like a ladder. You don't have that with this toolbox. This will break if you put that much on it, but it just really depends on what you're doing with your tools. If you're just working out of your garage like what I'm doing, this really works. But as you can see, I do use and abuse probably more than just your average person working out of their garage. You can see I've already torn up this drawer, and if I had a professional toolbox, it wouldn't be tore up already. So I've kind of argued in the comments before where people were saying, well, it doesn't make sense to spend that much money on that. And to be honest, guys, it really, if you're going in the field to be a mechanic, you don't buy things 5 times. You buy it once and it'll last your whole career. So I think I told someone, I think it was like 60,000 hours. This ratchet will take 60,000 hours of abuse and have no problem. And we can see here, this one didn't take, this drawer, this isn't a ratchet, but didn't take that many hours of abuse. And the ratchet's the same way. Even if you buy a decent ratchet, or like, I don't know, like a $5 ratchet, it's not gonna take 60,000 hours of abuse. And then you can argue and say, well, it's got a lifetime warranty, but you don't understand when the ratchet breaks, you know, 3 times during the week because you're putting 8 hours a day on the ratchet. You don't want to be, you know, turning in your ratchet to have it replaced 3 times a week. You just want to go ahead and spend 60 bucks on a ratchet to have a ratchet that's going to work, and it's not costing you time and money. So now I'm going to go through and kind of open the different drawers. I'm going to clear it off here just a little bit, and then we'll talk about what I've got in my 12-drawer box. Alright, so first I'll go through my top box here, and I've cleaned it off here a little bit. Ew, and there's nasty stuff on here. And some of the stuff my stepdad gets down to the lower box, but my stepdad's put some of his stuff in here too, but I'll tell you when we get there. Okay, so here I have a windshield repair kit that I never used, and sitting in here I just have it's a motor and something to make a trunk pop, automatic trunk pop that I never did. We've got some spark plugs, we've got some tire chalk. That's good for when you're rotating tires and stuff. Just remember which tires you're doing there. Got some, you know what that is, just the wire. I can't think of it. I'll think of it later and be mad at myself. Now we're gonna open this stuff right here. This is where I would generally put my extensions, and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a 7-drawer top box, and if you wanted, like I was telling you earlier, to build up, you could use this like 4 or 5 drawer bottom one, and then just set that Craftsman one on top of this. But then you could also upgrade, you know, to the 7 drawer box. So you can always upgrade, stack stuff. It's pretty cool, pretty neat. So next, I got this cool little compartment that I put ratchets in, which I never really used, and I got a bunch of just kind of miscellaneous sockets and a lot of American sockets. Or not American, but the standard measurement sockets. I don't use standard, I only use the metric. So then we've got this is my screwdriver drawer, and I also keep some punches and pick type stuff in there, or punches and punch and chisel, that's what it is. And I got my picks over here, the Matco picks, I like them, they're pretty nice. And I've taken a lot of stuff out. A lot of my tools are spread out between here, my townhouse, and then what I keep in my car for my triage kit. So kind of spread out. This is where I'd keep all my pliers, and this is my handy dandy balancing hammer here. You hammer, and then you can take the weights off the tire. And here's just some disc for air cutting tool. And what is this? Right here. And some kind of I bet that's for the Mercedes. I had this really old Mercedes, and it looks like an old relay, expensive relay. Yeah, German quality is like a $40 or $50 relay. It's unbelievable. I don't know why it's sitting in there. Actually, it needs to get in my junk drawer. Stupid thing probably doesn't even work. I keep things. It drives me crazy. But then this is kind of like my junk drawer. I just keep, you know, hose clamps, stuff like that. I got RTV, all kinds of sealant type stuff, Permatex samples. I'm a big fan of Permatex. Bulb grease, good to have sometimes. Ooh, and all of those brake grease things I was looking for, and anti-seize. That's good. Oh yeah, I was looking for that. I'm actually glad to find that. Let's see, high temp, red. Yeah, there's a difference in RTVs. Go watch a video about it, learn about RTVs. Yeah, like your silicone sealants, learn about those. It's important to know. The best kind is liquid metal filler. No, this isn't the best kind, but the best kind is the gray kind for the sealant. There's your gray sealant, and it's supposed to exceed all of the old ones. And this is another miscellaneous drawer where I've just put boxes to stuff. Some air tools here, and looks like a torque wrench. And this is a throwout bearing. I don't know. I'll put that in there. This, I don't know. My stepdad put that in there and that in there. No, that's mine. Oh, he must have cleaned up for me and just stuck it in there. It's a brake pad hardware kit. Oh, and these are pretty cool too. These go to a 90-degree, I guess called 90-degree grinder, and it's for buffing out your headlight. So those are pretty cool and pretty useful. This looks like some kind of seals from some kind of kit. Oh, it's my old clipboard there for. Oh, and I have a whole Toyota thing there. That's pretty cool. I can do something with that. And let's see, just got some random stuff down here. So that's my top box, and as you can see, you have plenty of room when you add some drawers. And if you do plan on doing your own work to your own cars, and maybe friends and family's cars as well, it's good to have like maybe a 12 drawer setup, because when you do big projects you begin to need a lot more tools. So a 12 drawer box will really suit you well, and you don't have to go out and spend a whole bunch of money on lots of expensive tools. You can fill up a grocery cart full of Harbor Freight for just about $100, and you can get all the stuff you need. So get yourself one of these 12 drawer setups here and load it up with Harbor Freight stuff, and you'll be able to fix anything, except you won't be able to fix your tools. You'll be turning those in quite frequently. I'm gonna adjust the camera here to kind of show you my setup, my bottom box setup here. Alright, so now we're looking at my bottom box, and this is my wrench drawer, and of course I'm missing the 14. Honda, you gotta have that 14. And this is just a nice set of wrenches from Craftsman, the Craftsman Professional line, and they run about $100, and they're just really nice to work with. I really like them a whole lot. They feel good in your hands, and they're longer than like, I guess, a standard type wrench or whatever, so they just work a lot better. And these, oh, and I wanted to tell you about this gear wrench set I have. At the time when I bought it, I got it from Sears on a Sears Sunday sale, and it was about 40 bucks. And I've learned, over the course of my education, I've learned quite a bit about tools. So you can really take what I'm saying and know that it's foundational. It's pretty good stuff, what I'm telling you, because I've gone through about 4 years of school in automotive related education, and 2 years in high school, and graduated with an associate's degree in automotive systems. And I'd heard quite a bit about tools from every different aspect, and I wasn't just sold on Snap-on or Matco. But to conclude what I'm saying, to wrap things up here, I'm saying I know about tools, so listen to what I'm telling you about tools. This is for your benefit. It's not to make me sound like I know a whole lot. I'm trying to help you. So gear wrench, this gear wrench set, I bought it for about 40 bucks. Snap-on, in their gear wrenches, the Snap-on gear wrenches, they use gear wrench as their maker. So this gear wrench right here, although I got this whole set for 40 bucks and Snap-on sells their set for like $300 or $400, you're getting the same wrench. It's the same quality as a Snap-on. So just keep that in mind. You can get a Snap-on, basically a Snap-on equivalent set of gear wrenches at Sears for maybe it's like 60 or 80 bucks now, but I got it on sale for 40 bucks. So I was jumping for joy when I learned that, and then when I got them for just 40 bucks at Sears, I was pretty excited. So that's just a brief description of these wrenches I have here. And also wrenches, they use the flank type drive, which is the Snap-on name for they don't grab on the corners of the fastener. So it's kind of rounded out. They grab on the sides as opposed to the corners. And all these are equipped with the flank drive. And here later I'll show you a close-up of sockets, and I'll explain a little bit more about the flank drive, as Snap-on calls it. And this is this is what I call my first line ratchets, my starters, so to speak. If this was a basketball team, these would be my starter guys, but my starter ratchets are actually sitting in my other triage set, as I like to call it. So basically this is where I keep all my ratchets, and then my Hansen trays. And Hansen trays are really handy, by the way. And this is a 1/2-inch drive Hansen tray, and I don't really need 1/2-inch drive. That's why it's not with my other set. This T-handle, my stepdad put this in here, so I'm not really sure. I put this in here. This is some fishing sinkers. I don't know why I have that in here. My stepdad did that. I don't know why. This is one of those other oil filter claws that it's bigger and I don't use too often, so it stayed there. Ooh, and a lead to my Devon digital multimeter. Next, and here's my digital multimeter. Next we have this guy right here, and I got this. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this digital multimeter here. This is actually, the meter itself, brand new, runs about $400, and this is a professional type tool here. You don't generally spend that much on it unless you're going to be using and abusing it quite often, and I really do like doing electrical work, and I plan on doing a lot, so that's why I went with this guy. And I even got, I have like a bunch of different accessories for the Fluke, the 88 Automotive digital meter, which the kit I got, it standard or brand new, it would cost about $600. So, but I got everything I think for around $250 or something off eBay used. I took a big chance there, and when it got here, everything worked. So that was good news. And another thing, if you guys don't, I keep on repeating that expensive tools are worth it, but if you don't believe me, NASA, there's some fasteners that NASA won't even let the tool touch the fastener unless it's Snap-on, because the fasteners are so expensive. They're using these crazy resources that are super expensive to make the fasteners out of, and they choose Snap-on. They won't let the tool touch it unless it's Snap-on. So NASA seems to agree that Snap-on obviously does something well to where they use that. So also, like the US Army and stuff, they use tools as well, like Snap-on. I believe Snap-on does the US Army tools as well. I'm not sure if they do all of them, but I remember something where if you were to take a snap-on tool and it was from the Army, it didn't have that limited lifetime warranty or whatever. So, because if you have a regular snap-on tool, it doesn't matter if you have a receipt or not. You can find a snap-on tool on the ground, or you can find it, you could dig it up with a metal detector and turn it into snap-on, and they'd trade you for a new one. But apparently the Army snap-on tools are marked so that if you're to take it to a truck, they'll know not to trade that one out because there's no warranty there. Either that, or they just don't want, you know, people stealing tools and then I guess trading them out, because I guess maybe they offer that to the Army, but they just have to go through their whole political system to get all this done. And this is a drawer. I guess I kept brake tools. Gotta find that. I was looking for that. My little brake cube, that's for when you have those pistons that you have to twist and push in. And I don't know what this whole box is. My stepdad put that in there. This is mine. That is, I don't think that's mine. But yeah, we got a flashlight here. This is a really crappy flashlight. And oh, another one of those things. I have two of those. That's one. And some oil filter tools here. Let's see what else. And we got this crappy drawer here, and this is, I have some body tools. I attempt to do some kind of body work sometimes, and this tool is really fun if you've never seen one and you're easily entertained. It just picks up so much. You can, I don't know, pick up something that's like 30 or 40 pounds and just be like, rah. I remember my mom had a table with a glass piece that just set in. It was like this really heavy glass piece, and I just went and picked it up and just kind of went rah, because it was this big large object, glass object. It was really cool. And also those little mini fridges, I was able to lift the mini fridge, which is a pretty heavy item. You just stick it on top of the mini fridge, which the mini fridge probably came up to here, about as high as this box, or maybe higher. And this thing will, you know, pick it up. Anyways, it's a body tool. It's meant for pulling dents out, and it really has a strong suction there. It has a strong hold. They're fun to play with. It's $3 Harbor Freight. See, I got some spray paint, rust control spray enamel. I don't know what that's doing. Got some sandpaper and a cutter there. Got a rubber mallet. And I have a broken thingamabobber here. This is to hold pulleys if you're taking a bolt off and you have to hold the pulley. Really used and abused this. This lasted for one job, and this is a Harbor Freight tool, so if I would have had the expensive tool, it would have stood the test of time and trials. That's all the tools we're gonna go through, really. We got this. This is a body tool, it needs to be in there. I'll now talk to you just a little bit about the flank drive again, which I talked about in the past 2 tool videos that I did. But this time I'll actually kind of show you a close-up of what the flank drive looks like and how it works. And flank drive is the, I guess, copyrighted snap-on term. I don't know if there's a general or generic term for it, so I'm just going to call it flank drive. Alright, and I'm just going to talk about these 2 sockets here real quick. We've got a Duralast and a Stanley socket, and I understand that the snap-on flank drive, they had some kind of patent to keep them exclusive and to keep other companies from selling sockets or tools to remove fasteners with that quality, but it's run up, so we can see here that right there's no corner in the socket, so this socket doesn't grab on the corners of the fastener. So what this enables the socket to do is, if it's been rounded off by maybe a 12-point socket, this socket will grab on the sides of the fastener. Let's see. So it's going to be grabbing somewhere around here instead of in the corner. So that's kind of how the flank drive works. It's superior to the old style socket where it grabbed on the corners there, and it prevents you from, you know, rounding off nuts and bolt heads and all that kind of stuff. So that's how the flank drive works, or Snap-on's version of the flank drive. It now been passed on to all the other sockets. That's how that works. Also, at the entry level and the really beginner level and do-it-yourselfer level, you'll want a set of jack stands and a little jack as well. They actually sell little kits that'll come with jack stands and a jack for like $50 at Walmart or Sears or something like that. At least they did back when I was like, I don't know, 15 or 16 or so, and I was looking for it. So $50 to $100 you can get like a little set like that with jacks. Those aren't, they'll be smaller than that, but you can get yourself a jack stand and little jacks for just around that $50 to $100 price range. Well, that sums up today's tool video. If I missed anything or you want to hear me talk about anything else related to tools, just let me know down below in the comments. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe so you can catch all my new videos, which publish Mondays and Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will see you then.